But you have to reject their extremism and their socialism and their corruption. They're corrupt. Adam Schiff is a corrupt politician. You know, when he made that phony speech where he made up a really horrible speech and said that I said it, I said, oh, I'm going to sue him. They said, sir, I'm sorry, you can't. He's got total immunity because he made it in Congress. Can you believe this? But you know, here's the good news. At least we have a forum. We have a place we can talk so everyone knows what's going on. Bunch of phony people.
Hi, and welcome back to another great episode of Just Informed Talk. I'm very excited. We have a guest on here today. She is an incredible person. I actually just met her this year in Washington, D.C. at what has become the famous Q rally. It was a great time, a lot of great people there together. But I want to introduce Alicia. You can find her on Twitter at RedShiftReality, and she is the proprietor of the Red Pill Roadshow, and she's bringing to Tampa, coming up in 2020, January, the Great Awakening. Alicia, it's a pleasure to have you on.
Thanks for having me, Craig.
All right, so let's get right into it. Why don't you tell my audience here about the Red Pill Roadshow? How did it get started? What's the history behind it? Because it's a great story, and I think people will love to hear it.
So I started organizing the Great Awakening rally, and we learned a lot from that event, the Great Awakening Q rally. Kind of had to tweak a little bit to figure out how we're going to go forward with next events. So I kind of organized this LLC business type of situation to create platforms and organize events for patriots to speak without fear of being silenced. With the rate of you guys being shadow banned or just outright banned, deplatformed, I find it so imperative that we're needing to get together physically and make these, actual friendships and alliances and connections so that, if you pop off of line, then we can still connect and get the truths out there and just come together. But I did organize the Red Pill Roadshow to do that as an LLC for, I was going to go down the route of the nonprofit organization, but with the weaponization of the IRS now, it's like what the little old lady that gives me $50, I have to, tell the IRS who donated to me. So what, or, that will be released and Antifa will bust in our apartment, scare cats or something. So I've been kind of forced to go down this LLC pathway, but basically it's a self-funding movement. I'm going to be selling shirts, which we can talk about in a little bit. But any proceeds, it's just going to go right back into the events so that we can, bring the most influential speakers to all over the place.
So why don't you tell the folks about kind of what the catalyst for Red Pill Roadshow was in this 9/11 event we had at the Washington Monument in front of the White House. Basically, we had this incredible event. The fake news was there trying to smear us. We had a lot of patriots come together and give speeches, Q&As, and it was a great networking event, I think, for a lot of the people who have been following this and doing a lot of the legwork as far as getting this movement out into the public domain. And you've been one of the major players. Your husband has been as well. So why don't you tell us about how that first show got started?
Yeah, sure. So, I've been falling down the rabbit hole for the last 5 years, starting with the Clinton body count video. Fast forward to finding out about Q, and then just for the last few years, I've just been a content absorber. I have all the passion in the world. I'm so appreciative to all of you influencers just getting the truth and the content out there. So I've just never really subscribed to oh, I'm just one little person, I can't really do anything. I'm just sitting here figuring out what is my role. And so I decided to just see if I could just start pestering people, messaging them on any social media platform ever, and just say, hey, would you be interested in doing this if I make it a thing? And I had overwhelmingly just most positive responses. Everyone was super just right on, let me know when and where. So I just really just focused okay, if this is my role, I just want to get everyone together so that we can make those networking, the alliances, the friendships. And at first I was just like, all right, I'm just going to do this rally. And then on 9/11, like, what a beautifully strange day. It was just out of this world. I feel like that we've been activated since then, or at least I have. I thought, I'd have a little break after the event, but by the end of the night on 9/11, we were already planning like our next future events, like figuring out dates, what's cool with people. And then next thing you know, we have Tampa coming up. And I mean, I don't really see an end. We have to get our president reelected. We have to wake people up. Like, it's so big. There's so much work to do.
Yeah, I mean, and to that, it's such an amazing thing that event became. I think we were all out there. It was a hot day.
Yeah.
We were just
the only thing I couldn't control.
Yeah, but it was something about it. We had all those interesting experiences with these interesting work crews popping up out of nowhere and doing surveillance work. I mean, construction work
Right.
all around us.
The helicopter with the queue.
And the helicopter that came and did the queue. Why don't you tell our audience here about some of the people that showed up to that day, and who were some of your favorite people that you got to connect with that maybe you had personally watched before and then gotten personally connected with? Because that's one of the things to me is, it's about getting in front of people and doing that networking. And when you can get face to face with somebody, especially somebody that you've seen online, and you've heard, it's good. You can have a conversation, and maybe that will push somebody in our people in our audience to really want to come down to Tampa in January. So why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, there was a point where I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to keep it cool here, but I'm kind of geeking out because I have been watching some of you guys for a while. And it's like, hey, I feel like I know you, but you don't really know me, but I completely support you. Let's get together. Yeah, I was excited to meet the Edge of Wonder guys, Ben and Rob. They're super awesome. Love them. It was super cool to meet Jordan. I mean, even just like our dinner the night before, like I was just like, oh, look at all these awesome humans,
Yeah, for those of you in the audience, she's talking about Jordan Sather was there. And yes, we did have a really awesome dinner the night before with all the people who were involved in the conference. And that in and of itself was something that you almost want to take that moment and put it into a time capsule, because if we're going to look back on that, and it's just going to be such an incredible time, I think, for us all. And that's something that the people out there, you can get involved in the next one and possibly hang out with all of us, and definitely it's a face-to-face interaction thing. So tell everyone about Tampa. Tell them about what's coming, what's ahead, because I think they'll be excited to hear about that.
Yeah, so my next event is in Tampa. It is on Saturday, January 11th, 2020. It's from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at MacDill Park, downtown Tampa on the Riverwalk. Jean Ho is hosting the event. Craig, you're speaking there. We have Dylan Wheeler from Educating Liberals, Jeffrey Peterson from In the Matrix on Twitter. I have Dylan Lewis Monroe from the Deep State Mapping Project. He's most likely going to be speaking there, so he's given me enough of the okay that I think I'm going to say that one. And a few others. We also have JT Wild that's going to be playing live music there. I mean, it's going to be just like a party, like the best energy ever. All walks of life will be there, just like they were at the DC event. We had just any type of person you could think of. And, I just want to create that environment again of just like unity and coming together to discover, further find these truths and promote free thought that, maybe even just somebody walking by the event will be like, hey, what's this good time about? And, just to create that environment that I live for it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it really was an incredible event that we just had back in DC. That was like just the energy, the positivity, the positive messaging. Even though the fake news came and tried to rain on our parade, we didn't have any of that. We just kept going, telling the truth. We basically red pilled them. And I think that's why it's interesting that you call it the Red Pill Roadshow, because it's a way where for those of you out there watching, if you have family or friends and you're thinking about how can I get them to kind of get involved and see this, maybe you should bring them out. It's going to be in Tampa, January 11th,
Beautiful weather.
2020. Beautiful weather, sunny Florida. And you can go to redpillroadshow.com to get more information on that.
Yep.
And it's a great, and I'm sure there's going to be a few more speakers along the way.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, you can go on the redpillroadshow.com and RSVP for your free ticket. You don't have to, but you know how the city managers are. They're like, how many toilets do you need? And just, so it's cool. I'm really excited about it.
The joys of event planning.
Yeah, I've gotten okay at it. I'm getting there.
You've done great. And for that being your first show, I can't wait to see what happens the second time around, because usually with people like you, I've met a lot of people who are these kind of organizers. They're movers and shakers, and they're doers. It only gets better. That's what
Absolutely.
I've seen. So
yeah, so I actually organized the DC event from here in Southwest Florida. We built the stage at one of my husband's friend's house the day before. We took all this luggage up there just to like tools and stuff to make this happen. So with it being in Tampa here, that makes my life that much easier. And we are like upgrading the stage and lights, and it's going to be a little extra this time.
I can't wait, because what you managed to do with, kind of just this go get it mentality was really awesome. And I can't imagine now that we're just growing this, that how much better it's going to keep getting. So if you guys are going to be in Florida, or you want to schedule a trip, it's depending on where you are, it could be a nice car drive or a nice little quick flight. But you should come down and check out Tampa, Florida, January 11, 2020, because I'll be there. Alicia will be there, and the rest of an incredible group of people are going to be there. Now, before we wrap it all up here, Alicia, tell the people what you're doing. Talk about your T-shirts. I know this is something that you're going to kind of use to try to hopefully fund this operation. I know you're one of those people, you're trying to take everything you make and put it right back into it, which I love.
Absolutely.
And think is exactly how we continue to grow this movement. So tell the people about what you're doing.
Yeah, so once I'm an emergency nurse by trade, on the front line of the medical mafia. Don't get me started there. However, I am just ever since I've woken up, everything has changed to the way I think, where I spend my thoughts, where I spend my money. So I did invest into a direct to garment printer I can print any type of t-shirt, graphic, custom design. And I want to help, I call you guys my influencers, by the way, like you guys are my people, but I want to help you guys out. I want to spread that movement. I just want to make shirts and sell them. And my goal is for all of that money to go right back into the movements, or for the events, to fund them, just to keep it going, like just a self-funding little Red Pill Roadshow.
Well, you want to show the people an example of your work there?
Yeah, sure. So this is the Tampa shirt. The quality is sweet.
That is awesome. That's awesome.
I'm going to see Trump tomorrow in Sunrise
really?
at his rally.
Oh,
and so I made,
yeah,
I'm so pumped. I'm going there in the morning.
It's going to be great.
I made this one for.
Oh, that's awesome. And I hope he sees you and gives you a shout out in the crowd there. Cause have you been to a Trump rally yet?
No.
Well, let me tell you, I just went to one in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, and it is electrifying. And I can only imagine it's going to be that much more incredible down in South Florida, where I know there's so many great people, including yourself and many others. So Sunrise, I know, is going to be a little a ways away from where you are, but not too far. You'll be able to make it. Not
it's
bad.
Worth it.
So you'll be fine. I had to drive farther to get to Rio Rancho, so I know that area pretty well. But so look, that's awesome. I think everybody should go check that out, and that's just a little, I guess, a little sneak peek for the rest of the people out there.
On the redpillroadshow.com, there'll be a link where you can order shirts, or even just like send me the image you need printed, and I'll send it out. It's not up yet because my husband's out of town, so a lot of stuff stops when he's not around. So, but
Yeah, and let's
that
give a
was
shout out to your husband and the incredible work he's done with you in getting this done, because we got to recognize the incredible effort you
absolutely.
both have put in to this.
Yeah, he's been super supportive. You know, he was never let's just say like completely how we are with all the Q stuff. I've like just kind of drug him in like and started just like putting like little drops in front of him and be like, can you help me disseminate this, you know? And then now he's starting to wake up, and next thing you know, he's like helping me organize these events, and now he's all like, oh, did you see the Q drop, you know? Just he's awesome. He's made all of my dreams come true as far as helping me with the movement and the events and just working it out always for me and for us.
Well, you know what? And that's a true blessing. And I hope God continues to bless both you guys and your endeavors moving forward, because truly, you know, that's really what's most important in this world, is just doing what's right, living a righteous life, and living for God first, but then also for one another. And you guys definitely have that dynamic going. And I really respect that and appreciate it. But redpillroadshow.com, you can find my friend Alicia here on Twitter at Redshift Reality. That's at Redshift Reality. We'll throw a link and to all of this stuff that we've talked about down in the description. But I think that's a good place to kind of leave it. Is there anything else you want to share with the people out there? You know, you got a pretty big audience. So is there anything you want to say?
I guess just on a little personal note, just choose love every time, over and over. Just choose love.
And truer words have never been said. Thank you so much, Alicia. Thank you for coming on the show, and we'll get all the links to the audience. And I hope to see everyone down there in Tampa, January 11th, 2020. We'll see you there. Have a great evening. Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you, Craig.